Every year, millions of adults over 60 face a danger more serious than high blood pressure or cholesterol: falling. One sudden slip can lead to broken bones, months of painful recovery, or even permanent loss of independence. What makes this even more alarming is that research shows a single silent vitamin deficiency can nearly double your risk of falling. Most people have no idea they're deficient until it's too late. If you've felt weaker, unsteady, or noticed subtle balance changes, this deficiency may be the hidden culprit. Let's reveal it and fix it. For millions of seniors, the greatest health threat doesn't come from a heart attack or stroke, but from something far more unexpected: a fall. After the age of 60, 1 in 3 adults experiences at least one fall each year, and these aren't harmless stumbles. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalizations in older adults, sending millions into emergency rooms annually. Nearly 300,000 seniors are hospitalized for hip fractures alone every year, and for many, recovery is never complete. In fact, 1 in 5 older adults who suffers a hip fracture will not survive beyond the first year. But behind the statistics are real human stories. Take Mrs. Khan, a 72-year-old grandmother who loved gardening and playing with her grandchildren. One rainy afternoon, she slipped while stepping off her porch. What seemed like a minor accident ended with a fractured hip, weeks in the hospital, and months of rehabilitation. Once independent and active, she now relies on a walker and depends on her family for daily help. Her story is not unique. It's the heartbreaking reality for countless families. What makes falls especially dangerous is not just the physical injury, but the emotional toll. Many seniors develop a fear of falling again, leading them to limit activity, withdraw from social life, and lose the very strength that once protected them. The spiral is devastating. Less movement leads to weaker muscles and poorer balance, which then increases the likelihood of another fall. Most people assume this is simply part of aging, that bones weaken and balance fades naturally with time. But the truth is more complex and more hopeful. Science shows that underlying factors, such as vitamin deficiencies, play a major role in weakening muscles, reducing coordination, and making bones more fragile. In other words, many of these falls aren't inevitable consequences of growing older. They're preventable. And by uncovering the hidden cause, it's possible to restore strength, stability, and independence long after 60. Long before a serious fall ever happens, the body begins whispering warnings, but most people don't recognize them. It might start with small muscle cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. Perhaps you notice feeling more tired than usual after doing simple things like climbing stairs or walking around the garden. Your walking pace may become slower, your steps shorter, or your balance a little less steady than it once was. Sometimes there's a dizzy spell when standing up too quickly, or a moment of hesitation when stepping onto uneven ground. These signs are often brushed aside with a shrug and the thought, "I'm just getting older." But these aren't always the inevitable signs of age. They are red flags. The body is sending signals that something deeper is wrong. Fatigue doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Muscles don't simply lose their strength overnight. Balance doesn't vanish without a reason. And while aging does play a role, there's often an invisible culprit quietly draining strength and stability: a nutritional deficiency. Here's how it works. Your muscles, bones, and nerves all rely on certain vitamins and minerals to function properly. Without them, the communication between nerve cells weakens, muscles can't contract efficiently, and bones slowly lose their density. Imagine trying to run a powerful engine without oil. It may still move for a while, but with each turn, friction builds and the machine begins to break down. That's exactly what happens inside the human body when it's starved of the nutrients that keep it strong and coordinated. Muscle cramps may seem harmless, but they can be the first sign that the body is struggling to maintain proper muscle function. Fatigue may not just be about poor sleep, but about the body lacking what it needs to generate energy. Slower walking speed and unsteady balance often mean that the connection between muscles and nerves is weakening. Even dizziness can be a signal that your body's systems of stability are faltering. The tragedy is that these symptoms are so subtle that they're often dismissed until something serious happens, like a fall. Doctors and families may assume the decline is just aging, when in fact, it's a solvable problem. Because here's the truth. One particular vitamin plays a central role in muscle strength, bone integrity, and nerve communication. Without it, the body slowly but surely loses the foundation it needs to stay upright and stable. And while millions unknowingly suffer from its absence, correcting this deficiency can dramatically change the outcome. This is why recognizing these silent signs is so important. They aren't random inconveniences of getting older. They're warnings that something vital is missing. And unless addressed, these whispers will eventually grow into a shout in the form of a dangerous fall. The good news is, once you understand which nutrient is at the center of this issue, you can take action to restore your strength, energy, and balance before it's too late. So, what is the silent deficiency that quietly robs seniors of their strength and balance? The answer is vitamin D. Often called the sunshine vitamin, it's far more than just a nutrient for healthy bones. Vitamin D is at the very center of muscle strength, bone density, and nerve coordination, the three systems that protect you from falling. Without enough of it, muscles lose their ability to contract efficiently, bones become fragile and prone to fractures, and the nerves that guide movement begin to misfire. It's like removing the foundation, walls, and wiring from a house all at once. The entire structure becomes unstable. Research has repeatedly shown how dangerous this deficiency can be. Studies reveal that seniors with low vitamin D levels face nearly double the risk of falling compared to those with healthy levels. And the problem isn't rare. Millions of older adults around the world are walking around with dangerously low vitamin D without realizing it. Every stumble, every shaky step, every unexplained wave of weakness may be connected to this invisible deficiency. While vitamin D takes the spotlight, it isn't the only player. Vitamin B12 also plays a critical role by protecting the nervous system. Without enough B12, nerve signals slow down, leading to tingling, numbness, and difficulty walking. Likewise, magnesium acts as a partner nutrient, helping muscles contract and relax properly while supporting bone health. But among them all, vitamin D remains the most influential because it ties together bone strength, muscle function, and neurological stability in one powerful chain. Think of it this way. If your body is a three-legged stool, one leg represents muscles, another bones, and the third nerves. Take away vitamin D, and all three legs weaken at once. No wonder falls become so much more likely. The frightening part is that deficiency doesn't cause obvious pain at first. It works silently, eroding your stability day by day, until one sudden fall changes everything. But here's the hopeful side. Restoring vitamin D levels has been shown to significantly reduce fall risk, giving seniors the chance to remain stronger, steadier, and independent for years to come. If vitamin D is so essential for strength and balance, you might wonder, why do so many people over 60 become deficient in it? The answer lies in a mix of biology, lifestyle, and circumstances that quietly stack the odds against older adults. The first challenge begins with the skin. Vitamin D is unique because our bodies don't rely solely on food to obtain it. We actually manufacture it when sunlight hits the skin. But with age, the skin's ability to produce vitamin D declines dramatically. By the time you reach your 60s, your body is making far less vitamin D from the same amount of sun exposure than it did in your 20s or 30s. Even spending time outdoors may not generate enough to keep levels healthy. That problem is made worse by the fact that many seniors simply don't get outside as often. Whether due to reduced mobility, safety concerns, or lifestyle changes, time spent in the sun often decreases after retirement. Some avoid the sun out of fear of skin damage, while others spend most of their day indoors reading, resting, or watching television. Without consistent sunlight, one of the body's most important sources of vitamin D is cut off. But even when vitamin D is produced, it doesn't automatically go to work. It first needs to be activated by the liver and kidneys. Unfortunately, as we age, both of these organs lose some of their efficiency. The liver becomes less capable of converting vitamin D into its usable form, and the kidneys struggle to complete the activation process. This means that even if an older adult manages to get enough sun exposure, their body may not successfully turn it into the active vitamin their muscles and bones desperately need. Medications can complicate things further. Many seniors take prescriptions for conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes, and certain drugs are known to interfere with vitamin D absorption or metabolism. Cholesterol-lowering statins, corticosteroids, and even some weight loss medications can blunt the body's ability to absorb or activate vitamin D. For someone already at risk, these medications silently worsen the problem. And then there's the diet. While some foods contain vitamin D, like fatty fish, fortified milk, and egg yolks, the amounts are often too small to meet the body's needs. You'd have to eat large portions of salmon every day to reach optimal levels, which isn't realistic for most people. For seniors with reduced appetite, dietary restrictions, or digestive issues, relying on food alone almost always leaves a gap. Put all of these factors together: aging skin, less sunlight, declining liver and kidney function, interfering medications, and limited dietary sources, and it becomes clear why vitamin D deficiency is so widespread in older adults. It's not carelessness, and it's not inevitable aging. It's a perfect storm of challenges working against the body. The danger is real, but once understood, it also becomes something that can be actively addressed and corrected. If vitamin D is so essential for strength and balance, you might wonder, why do so many people over 60 become deficient in it? The answer lies in a mix of biology, lifestyle, and circumstances that quietly stack the odds against older adults. The first challenge begins with the skin. Vitamin D is unique because our bodies don't rely solely on food to obtain it. We actually manufacture it when sunlight hits the skin. But with age, the skin's ability to produce vitamin D declines dramatically. By the time you reach your 60s, your body is making far less vitamin D from the same amount of sun exposure than it did in your 20s or 30s. Even spending time outdoors may not generate enough to keep levels healthy. That problem is made worse by the fact that many seniors simply don't get outside as often. Whether due to reduced mobility, safety concerns, or lifestyle changes, time spent in the sun often decreases after retirement. Some avoid the sun out of fear of skin damage, while others spend most of their day indoors reading, resting, or watching television. Without consistent sunlight, one of the body's most important sources of vitamin D is cut off. But even when vitamin D is produced, it doesn't automatically go to work. It first needs to be activated by the liver and kidneys. Unfortunately, as we age, both of these organs lose some of their efficiency. The liver becomes less capable of converting vitamin D into its usable form, and the kidneys struggle to complete the activation process. This means that even if an older adult manages to get enough sun exposure, their body may not successfully turn it into the active vitamin their muscles and bones desperately need. Medications can complicate things further. Many seniors take prescriptions for conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes, and certain drugs are known to interfere with vitamin D absorption or metabolism. Cholesterol-lowering statins, corticosteroids, and even some weight loss medications can blunt the body's ability to absorb or activate vitamin D. For someone already at risk, these medications silently worsen the problem. And then there's the diet. While some foods contain vitamin D, like fatty fish, fortified milk, and egg yolks, the amounts are often too small to meet the body's needs. You'd have to eat large portions of salmon every day to reach optimal levels, which isn't realistic for most people. For seniors with reduced appetite, dietary restrictions, or digestive issues, relying on food alone almost always leaves a gap. Put all of these factors together: aging skin, less sunlight, declining liver and kidney function, interfering medications, and limited dietary sources, and it becomes clear why vitamin D deficiency is so widespread in older adults. It's not carelessness, and it's not inevitable aging. It's a perfect storm of challenges working against the body. The danger is real, but once understood, it also becomes something that can be actively addressed and corrected. The good news is that detecting a vitamin D deficiency is neither complicated nor painful. All it takes is a simple blood test known as the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test, often written as 25-OHD. This test measures the amount of vitamin D circulating in your blood and gives a clear picture of whether your body has enough to support healthy muscles, bones, and nerve function. It's quick, inexpensive, and can usually be added to your routine checkup without any difficulty. The results are measured in nanograms per milliliter, ing/ml. Generally, a level below 20 nanograms per milliliter is considered deficient, meaning the risk of falls, fractures, and other complications is significantly higher. Levels between 20 and 30 nanograms per milliliter are often classified as insufficient, which may still cause subtle symptoms like fatigue, cramps, and balance issues. Optimal levels are usually above 30 nanograms per milliliter, with many experts recommending seniors aim for the 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter range to support both bone health and muscle strength. Routine testing is especially important because vitamin D deficiency doesn't announce itself with obvious symptoms. Many people feel generally fine until one day they stumble, fracture a bone, or discover weakened health through another condition. By testing proactively, deficiencies can be spotted and corrected before they lead to a serious fall. Doctors emphasize that seniors should have their vitamin D levels checked at least once a year or more frequently if they already struggle with mobility, take multiple medications, or have limited sun exposure. This single test can provide peace of mind, a roadmap for prevention, and in many cases, a renewed sense of control over health and independence. Once you know a vitamin D deficiency is at the root of declining strength and balance, the next step is to take action. And one of the most powerful solutions is also the simplest: sunlight. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin because our skin produces it naturally when exposed to ultraviolet B rays. The best time for production is usually mid-morning to early afternoon, when the sun is high enough in the sky to trigger vitamin D synthesis. For most older adults, about 15 to 30 minutes of direct sunlight on the arms, face, and legs a few times a week is enough to make a difference. Of course, this can vary depending on skin tone, location, and season. Safety matters too. Long exposure without protection increases the risk of skin damage, so moderation is key. Think of it as a prescription: small, consistent doses of sunlight instead of long, infrequent sessions. Diet can also play a significant role in restoring vitamin D, though it's harder to meet all your needs from food alone. Some of the richest sources include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, which provide a strong natural dose. Egg yolks, fortified milk and cereals, and even certain types of mushrooms exposed to UV light can add meaningful amounts to your daily intake. While these foods may not supply everything your body needs, they work best as part of a balanced approach combining sunlight, nutrition, and, if necessary, supplements. Lifestyle adjustments can also make a world of difference. Something as simple as a daily walk outdoors can combine two powerful benefits: physical activity to strengthen muscles and balance, and sunlight exposure to boost vitamin D levels naturally. Gardening, light exercise in the park, or even sitting outside with a book can all contribute to better health. For those with limited mobility, opening blinds, sitting near sunny windows, or spending short periods on a porch or balcony can still help. What matters most is consistency. The body doesn't store unlimited amounts of vitamin D. It needs steady, repeated input to maintain healthy levels. That's why small daily habits often prove more effective than occasional large efforts. Think of it as weaving vitamin D into your lifestyle. Eating fish once or twice a week, drinking fortified milk in the mornings, and taking regular short walks in the sun. Each piece adds up to a stronger whole. The beauty of these natural solutions is that they not only restore vitamin D, but also support overall well-being. A balanced diet improves energy, sunlight lifts mood by regulating serotonin, and gentle activity strengthens both body and mind. By embracing these everyday habits, seniors can take powerful steps toward preventing falls, maintaining independence, and enjoying a higher quality of life, without complicated routines or drastic changes. While sunlight and food provide a foundation, many seniors still struggle to reach healthy vitamin D levels naturally. That's where supplements come in, but not all supplements are created equal. The two main forms are vitamin D2, ergocalciferol, and vitamin D3, cholecalciferol. Although both raise blood levels, research consistently shows that vitamin D3 is more effective and longer-lasting. For seniors looking to strengthen bones and muscles, D3 is usually the preferred choice. When it comes to dosage, more is not always better. Most experts recommend 800 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day for older adults, depending on their individual blood levels and health status. In some cases of severe deficiency, doctors may prescribe higher doses for a short period, but taking excessive amounts can be dangerous. Overdosing on vitamin D can lead to nausea, kidney problems, or dangerously high calcium levels in the blood. That's why supplements should never be started blindly. It's best to base the dosage on the results of a blood test. Pairing vitamin D with other nutrients can also make a significant difference. Calcium is a natural partner because vitamin D helps the body absorb it effectively, strengthening bones against fractures. Magnesium is another important ally. It supports vitamin D metabolism and ensures muscles can contract and relax smoothly. Without magnesium, even high doses of vitamin D may not work as efficiently. Together, these nutrients form a protective shield for both bones and muscles. Still, supplements should always be approached with medical supervision. A doctor can recommend the right dosage, monitor blood levels, and adjust the plan as needed. This is especially important for seniors taking multiple medications, since some drugs can interact with vitamin D or affect calcium balance. What seems like a harmless over-the-counter pill can have unintended consequences if taken without guidance. In the end, supplements are not magic pills, but valuable tools. When chosen wisely, taken in the right dose, and paired with proper medical advice, they can transform a silent deficiency into renewed strength, stability, and independence. Your independence, your balance, and your safety depend on one simple choice. Don't ignore this silent deficiency. A quick test and small daily changes can mean the difference between strength and fragility, freedom and dependence. Falls aren't just accidents, they're preventable. Protect your bones, your muscles, and your future by acting today. And if this message opened your eyes, subscribe right now, because every week we share proven strategies to protect your health and extend your vitality. Don't miss the next discovery that could change or even save your life.